Was the governor of Maryland. Well, let's stay in the United States. And over the last 2 weeks, groups of people across America have been taking to the streets protesting against restrictions in place to try and limit the spread of coronavirus. For many, it's about the economy. They say they need to get back to work. But for others, it's about something at the core of the U.S. Constitution, the right to worship as they please. Our global religion reporter, Lebo Diseko, has more.
A clash between faith and coronavirus restrictions. At stake, a vocal minority of Christians in the US say is their religious freedom. Among them, Florida-based pastor Rich Vera, who says he predicted the demonstrations.
You say, I'm not going to stay like this no more. Let me tell you something. If you keep controlling society and the church and the nations, that day will come soon. They're going to stand up and say, enough of your nonsense. Once in your family with diabetes.
While many US churches are closed, some are still holding in-person services. Pastor Vera says the virus is a spiritual attack that requires a spiritual answer.
Coronavirus, that we know it comes from the devil. There is a spiritual dark force that is behind sickness, is behind plagues.
The Lord takes me into your life.
Several states, like Florida, have declared churches an essential business, which means they are allowed to be open. While Pastor Vera does observe some social distancing, he says sometimes touching people is necessary.
But a lot of people will find it difficult to understand why you're still doing things like laying of hands on people.
The calling that God has placed in my life is to preach the gospel, to lay hands on the sick so he can heal them. That's my calling. Yeah, we keep distance, we wash our hands for the sake of those that are fearful. The Bible says you will lay hands on the sick and the sick will recover.
US federal advice recommends cancelling gatherings of more than 10 people.
Stay at home if possible. Don't go out on any unnecessary travel or trips. And to make sure you're staying away from crowded places like movie theaters.
But Pastor Vera says it is important for people to be able to worship in large groups.
They suggested, not an order, suggested not to gather 10 people or more. We appreciate that suggestion, but ministries such as mine, I mean, we cannot limit it to 10 because the Bible says, if one of them I turn away and they die in their sin, the Bible says their blood will be on my hands. So I'm responsible before God.
The key.
Top US health official, CDC Director Robert Redfield, has warned of a possible second wave of coronavirus in the country. So would Pastor Vera close his church if he was asked to in the future?
If it's something valid, you know, I will discuss it. But politicians and governments cannot hold us back on exercising our amendments, our rights, our constitutional rights, the rights that God has given us. We are essential in the world, and we can never, and we will never be shut down.
Of course, not all US Christians will share Pastor Vera's views. Many churches, like Washington National Cathedral, have services without a congregation present. But for the minority who do agree with him, the age-old conflict between science and religion looks set to continue. Lebo Diseko, BBC News.